Mad Hotties, the set is finally here. So today we're going to be styling the newest Lady Gaga set. So let's begin. So in the beginning, I was just gonna style like one piece of Lady Gaga set, and then I realized I was just gonna use the whole thing. So there was just like no point in saying like I'm just gonna style this one thing when I'm just gonna use the whole set. So this is the first fit. There was really no inspiration for any of these fits today, just mainly the fact that I just wanted to use the mess out of the new set, and the fact that they have patterns is so amazing. So for this, I was just like, okay, we're going to use just the Lady Gaga patterns with the outfits today. And I was just like, okay, you know me, I'm more so like, I don't like using so many different patterns. Unless I'm going for a specific style or a specific type of theme, then there's a difference. But for today, I was just like, we're going to be monotone, we're going to go all one color. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but I did layer a couple of the VIP fits on the VIP skirts, excuse me, and then I actually added the Ariana Grande dress to layer underneath so that it could look like one whole dress. And as you can see, it looks like it's like a open backlist. That's what I was going for. And the way I realized I could do this hack was that I've been so used to using the other dress, that short dress non-VIP, as a little hack to show the skin. And I was like, okay, maybe I could do that with this one and layer it under the Lady Gaga corset. And that's just how I was able to do the hack. And as you can see, I did add the Lady Gaga lashes. I was like, I realized I saw that in a challenge, and I was like, where did everyone get the lashes? And then realized I wasn't paying attention and didn't notice that there was the whole new set right in the center. So, but anywho, now we're going in with the makeup, and this took some time because I was like, okay, do I want to match the fit? Do I want to, because it all goes down in the end to make sure it looks nice with my skin tone. I did want to do the whole fit, all one type of theme, like the foily theme, including the makeup, excuse me. And realizing I'm like going through trying to try the new things. I do like some of the lips. I do have to say though, what me and my girl Miss Green realized is that the new eye shapes that they have, if you I was trying to use the liners, and because they would have been perfect, but then realized that the liners are off-putting. Like they literally go underneath the eye, and it's not automatic to the eye, which is what I've been saying in my past videos. Like I feel like if they have another update, just update all the eyes to be able to align with the liners and makeup. And we're gonna speed up through the makeup process a little bit because it was just taking me to some time to realize what I wanted to do, but in the end, I managed to figure it out in the end. Now onto the hair. It did take a little bit of time. Actually, no, this didn't take that much time, excuse me, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to show more of the fit and then do something funky with the hair. So I actually did this in my last round where I like layered the braids with the straight hair and then like the braids going up. And I honestly think this is going to look so cool when it comes to like the candy themes. It's just gonna look so good, and I can't wait for the themes to come. Um, but as you can see, I'm making it all, like I said, wanted it all one theme, all looking foily, and it just came out beautifully in the end. But this was the finishing look, and I can honestly say, excuse me, I loved how it turned out. It turned out so much better than expected, especially since I didn't have any inspo. I just kind of went with what felt right, and I just love it. But anywho, on to the next one. So once again, we have no inspo. We're just going with what works and what feels right. And in this one, I think this fit actually was my favorite that I did out of all of them. I think one thing, because I'm obsessed with dark colors, and this just, oh my god. When like I said, I had no inspiration. I was just kind of like building up like what Gaga would give, like haute couture. Like that's what I want to go for. And I was like, we're going for that cape. Like right after this, you'll see I'll automatically go for that cape over there. I was like, I need that with this fit. And at first I was like, I was struggling a little bit going back and forth, which you don't see. It took me about like 20 minutes just to do this fit because one, my iPad was getting hot, and two, I was like, I don't know what I want to do with this. Like, I don't want to copy and inspo. I want to do this myself. It was a lot going back and forth, but it was totally worth it because I loved how this turned out. It was definitely one of my favorite fits and favorite pictures I did out of all three of them. But now, as you can see, I am layering the chest plate from the spring set. It is non-VIP, I believe. Yeah, I think it's non-VIP. And because we want to go for that Haute Couture vibe. And of course, you already know I had to go with the Pixie Uli dress. I feel like that's just been the signature look and signature dress for me to use because it's just such a perfect base. Now on to my favorite part, which is the makeup. As you can see, it's like this time we're going to go with the black hair, the dark eyes. We're just going to do a natural look, right? But later you'll also see that, I can't help myself with the funky looks and the funky makeup. So, but for this look, we're going for an all dark vibe. And as you'll see in a moment, what I'm saying in regards to the toggle of like the eyeliner going underneath, don't worry, we make it work out. In a moment, you're going to see that I'm going to go for her spiky lashes, and it works out because we want that like dark vibe. And just trying to, because we don't have any slots, I was like, okay, we're just going to mainly focus on the eyes instead of the rest of the face, because the rest of the face is actually covered with the cape anyways. And as you can see here, I colored in the spiky lashes like the same color as the cape. And now we're just going in like with two hairstyles, not a crazy hair combo, but we did want to go with a hair combo that would like pop out underneath the hat. So I was like, okay, we could have gone with like the short buzz cut, but I was like, no, I'm going to save that one for later. And you're going to see one of the looks I'm going to do with buzz cut because it's going to look fire. But this, I was like, let's try braids. And then I was like, nope, that's too much. And you can't really adjust it that well. So I ended up going in with like the straight hair, like the haute couture, like type of horizontal bob, which is what I've been saying I needed all this time. Thank God, and I was not surprised when they put it for this because I'm like, Miss Lady Gaga was known for that back in the day. Now, as you can see here, we're going in with the accessories, and I was struggling. You don't see me struggling, but I was struggling because later on, I actually was going back and forth. I was like, does this need more jewelry? Does it not need more jewelry? And here, I'm doing that jewelry hack I did with one of the makeup looks I tried, my makeup combos. And I was like, you know what? This would look fire with this. Make it look like a little teardrop going under the eye. And I loved how it turned out in the end, but this took a little long because like literally right after this, if it weren't for me saving this fit, I literally would have cried my eyes out because right after I tried rotating this, I got logged out of the game. But the important thing was that it looked fabulous in the end, and this was actually my favorite out of the three. And I'm so happy we have this set. I just can't wait to make more looks with this. But anywho, now on to the last one. So for this look here, I was like, okay, let's just go a little bit tamer with this fit. Turns out looking lovely in the end, and I was this close to wanting to use the cape again because it's just beautiful. And I was like, okay, now let's just try something else. Let's kind of like mix things up a little bit, right? I was like, let's keep the skirt, and since we're doing this tame, we're going to I love layering these new skirts now. I realized with the half wrap skirt in VIP, you can make like a longer skirt with this new skirt from Lady Gaga, which I love. I actually wish though that they could toggle off the little like bag looking things at the side of the skirt so that you could just keep it and leave it as a wrap skirt, but it still looks great. But what I did realize with this set and fit, I was like, it is giving me like punk vibes, and I was like, you know what, let's go for that wrapped belt top and like layer that on top of the top. And for my mad hotties who have non-VIP, there are so many ways I think you can layer something else on top of the this top, excuse me. from her set. You could use some of the like the jewelry accessories, and I know that's not coming to my head, but you could do so many other things, and especially with the adjustment feature now. Just because you're not VIP does not mean you can't make your outfit fabulous, because you know I have done my non-VIP fits, and if you want me to, I will gladly make another video of doing her sets just all non-VIP if that's what anyone wants. So now we're just checking to see what we have so far on here. I was, like I said, I'm using all one pattern here, and it was looking nice, and I was just like, okay, if we're doing all one pattern, we're just gonna make sure we find a good, like a nice color, excuse me, to match it up to a T, because it needs to look fire. That took me a moment, was doing the hairstyle, because I was like, okay, so we do have a lot of patterns with the fit, like the pattern itself does stand out, and there's a lot going on with it. So I did want to do something that was not too much with the hairstyle, but I also wanted to do a color that like matched the theme of the other parts of the fit. So for here, we're going to speed up the process of the makeup a little bit, because I didn't have an inspo, I was like, okay, we are just going to take our time here and figure out what we want to do and what looks right with this look. And what I realized, unfortunately, with the new eyes, the Lady Gaga set eyes, you can't really show much color on the eyes, especially these. And I wish you could, because I wanted to show some like depth with the eyes and add like a smoky eye or something. Like these eyes here would look so fire with the smoky eye. But we managed to figure something out in the end. So as you can see here, it's slowly coming together. And once again, was struggling with the liners, because I can't remember with this one if I used the spiky lashes, but with this one, the liner is actually not so bad. It actually works a little better. And I was going back and forth, because I was like, what if I did like a teary liner underneath to add to the rest of the face? Because I was like, I'm tired of using beauty marks, and we need to try something different. So we did end up going with the teary eye, and it just looked so good in the end. And I guess I did go back in with the lashes, excuse me, but it works out, actually. It works out with the fit. But now it looks like here I did go back in with the makeup, because I think I wanted to do something different with the lips. Yep. And I love how that turned out, because I was like, I did want the lips to look a little deeper, and unfortunately, like, as you know, as I've said before, some of the lips do not go as dark as you would want them to, and I honestly wish they can update that with like all of the makeup. And now just kind of looking at the finishing touches, just like was toggling the hat a little bit, and I love how this turned out. And then realizing here, I forget that the nails don't show through I don't know why I went back to it again, but then it's gonna hit me that I can use the new nails from the Baddie Pass set. So you may not see it here, but I'm actually coloring in the sharp pointy nails that were, I think, from Baddie Pass set. I can't remember if that's where it was from, but it worked so perfectly with these fits. I think these nails are such a perfect addition to Dress to Impress, especially if you want to do like some haute couture, you know, scary haunting vibes. And I'm trying to tilt here to show you how it looks. And going in with the earrings, just kind of toggling it around, figure out what vibe I wanted to go for, and this was the finishing look. I honestly was so obsessed with how everything turned out. I am obsessed with this new set, and you best believe you will be tired of me using this set, but I'm going to find ways in which I can make this look fire each and every time. And be prepared, I may just do another collab with my girl Miss Green to do this in my other DTI buds. So I hope you guys like this video. Comment below which fit was your fave and which out of the pictures was your fave, and I shall see you guys next time.